Bible verse. Today's verse is 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 18. Flee sexual immorality. Everything that a man does is outside the body, but he who commits sexual immorality sins against his own body. This is God telling us to flee from sexual immorality. Flee from lust. Lust can be seen in so many different ways and can be described in so many different ways, whether it be looking at somebody and lusting over them by looking at them inappropriately, or complimenting them inappropriately and just looking at them and just pretty much taking advantage of their body, or committing a lustful action, inappropriate action, or watching an inappropriate video, or just anything that is even the tiniest bit of inappropriate or lustful is still considered lust, no matter the severity of it. So God's telling us to flee from this because, unlike any other sin, lust has a direct impact on our bodies, on the inside of our bodies, on our minds, our hearts, and on our souls, unlike any other sin. So lust can immediately, even if we just fall into it for 5 seconds, lust can immediately pollute our minds and just bring our minds constantly back to that sin. So once we fall into lust for the first time, and it be maybe only for even 5 minutes, the enemy's going to be like, oh, this person's vulnerable, so let me come and attack them more and more and more and just overwhelm them so they'd fall into sin and temptation again. So this is why God's telling us to flee. So what does it mean to flee? To flee, it means to run away from the sin. So a way we can run away from the sin is, as soon as we feel the sin and temptation, we run straight to God. So the way we can run straight to God is, as soon as we feel this temptation, we run to Him, we pray to Him. What I recommend like listening to worship music, just something that gets your mind off that sin and your mind and your eyes set on God. And I know today in this generation that lust is so acceptable and okay in this generation. I feel like one of the most common sins in this generation. It's just like, it's so accepted, and it shouldn't be. And I'm not bashing on anybody for falling into lust or falling into temptation constantly, but I'm just letting this be a reminder to flee from it. And I'm not one to judge either, because I used to be a pretty lustful person, and I would always lust over somebody. I would always commit all this lustfulness, like these lustful actions and all these things. But because of God, I'm saved, and because I found God, I found a way out of this sexual immorality. So just a really big advice that I could have is just focus on God, because the more you focus on God, the more your focus on sin goes away. And one thing that I realized as well is, the more you try and fight that sin yourself, this goes for any sin, the more you try to fight that sin and that temptation yourself, the more likely you're going to fall into it. So if you feel like that you're going to fall into this sin and you try to fight it and take it into your own hands, then you're not going to fight that sin. You're going to fall into it. That's why it's important to run to Jesus about it, because Jesus can help us. So just let this be a reminder to flee from sexual immorality. Jesus loves you guys.